Sorry about that. Like I just said, guys, this call is about building depth. And now we're going to talk about what does building depth mean? Building depth means you're helping your team members bring in their own team, then helping those people do the same, layer after layer, depth after depth. You're not just focused on your first generation, but helping all generations and the recruits succeed too. And guys, Vic and I are going to talk about this a little bit. Obviously, the whole call's about it, right? But we're also going to be covering the importance of this because I'm sure we've all heard through the pipeline that there's some changes coming, right? We know that these changes are coming. The SPDs, we already know, and we're limited to how much we can tell you, which is killing us. But everything gets released on Saturday, so I cannot wait because this is killing me every day. It's like having a surprise birthday party and knowing you can't tell the person for 2 months. You're just like, oh.
Exactly.
Right? It is really, really hard to hide that from you guys. So we're super excited about that because we are going to get into that. And why building depth is so important. Vic and I, can you guys cover on like really the importance of why building depth is so important here?
Yeah.
I mean, it creates sustainability in your business. You need to find leaders at all different generations so it continues to grow. That's how your business grows. If you're only enrolling people that are using the product, customers prefer customers, and brand partners that really aren't doing anything, your business is going to be horizontal. You're going to have no depth. And you're not going to create that residual income that we're all dreaming about, that we're all striving for. The sustainability is huge. That's why you build in depth. You find leaders.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Find leaders.
No, just saying you want it to gain momentum that you can't stop it. It's just going and growing and going and growing.
Yeah, and guys, like I just said too, how Vic and I are so much fun to have around and go out with, right? That's boosting the team morale and relationships. We have become such great friends because of this, right? Prior to this business, I barely knew them, but now we've become very close, so much to the point that we're like, Di called, hey, can you come down to the Keys for her birthday? Unfortunately, I couldn't, but she was in town. She was able to hang out with Vic and I were able to hang out for my birthday. And, it was just, you're building team morale and people want to do business with you and don't want to leave you when they feel connected with you. Right.
True.
I would never want to see Vic and I leave, vice versa. I'd be like, no, you're my family, right?
Well, it's that community we're growing, right? You're grabbing like-minded people that, you want to be around. And who are the people you want to be around? Happy people. And what makes people happy? Being healthier and being wealthier.
Yeah, that's the truth. So if you're talking to somebody that's grumpy, you don't want to bring them into this business because who's going to want to hang out with somebody that's grumpy, right? Find fun, happy people to build this
Give
business.
me a few minutes with them. I'll degrump them.
And that is the truth. And guys, like I said on that slide too, it allows you to rank up faster. Ranking up, and I'm not just saying that because of our current compensation plan. Our future compensation plan is so built, insanely built on depth, which is what every leader in this company wants. We're all like, you know what? We're working with our 5th, our 6th, our 7th generation, but we're not making any money on that, right? That's what we kept complaining about. Well, guess what? Corporate heard us, baby. They heard us and they responded. And this new compensation plan will be focused on building depth, which is why this call is so important. I know Vic and I,
amazing.
I'm so excited. Oh,
yeah. You're too. Very.
Yeah.
Well, let us know when you're ready.
We are ready for you. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Share away.
All right. We're getting ready here. Okay. Are we on?
We're on.
Okay. How to grow your business and take it to the next level. Next level is coming up, guys. That's an event. So keep that in mind. We're going to discuss that in a minute. Okay. So we're Vic and Di Malullo. We live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And I saw this quote by Gandhi and I said, God, this is so true. A sign of a good leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. And that is the goal of this call. You guys are on this call because you're leaders. You may be a new leader in the business. You may have been in the business, but we want you to grab this bull by the horns and listen to what we're saying about the strategies that we've been implementing and create more leaders on your team. The more leaders you have, the more success all of you will have together as a team. So I just love that quote. So I had to put it in there. Okay. So initially, we had a few challenges. We made it up to senior director rather quickly. Manager, I think, was like 48 hours. And then we just went senior director right away. But then we got stuck at senior director for, I would say, probably like 6 months or so. I need to go back and look. And we weren't sure what we were doing wrong, you guys. I mean, we were doing three-way calls. We were doing Zoom calls. We were doing everything that we thought we were supposed to be doing. But we really didn't have a system in place. We just did it as we felt like people needed the calls. We would do them for them. It was like we were throwing a dart at a dartboard, blindfolded and hoping it was going to stick. But we didn't know where it was going to stick or if it was going to stick. So we were at an event. Another reason why you guys have to go to the events, you never know who you're going to run into. And we ran into a leader who we love. We were friends with him years ago, and he was stuck at a rank below us for a while, and then he shot to SPD. And he came up to us at this event and he said, guys, do you mind if I talk to you? Like, about a couple of things. We're like, what? And he's like, I just don't understand why you're not SPD yet. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. I feel like I could share something with you that may help. And he was like, would you be open? Would you, one of those statements, would you be open to listening what I have to share with you? And we said, of course we'd be open to it. Like, don't let pride get in the way, guys. If a leader wants to share something with you, be open to it. They're mapping it out for us. That's how I look at it. They've already gotten there. So I'm going to take any advice I can get from another leader. So we said, absolutely, we will 100% listen to you. And we did a call with him, and he shared with us a strategy that he's been implementing within the This Is It Team 10-step system. This is another system within the system, just how to build in depth. And it's fairly simple, but you're doing things with intention. You're intentional about what you're doing, okay? And so we listened, we implemented, and a few months later, we hit SPD. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 months later, we hit SPD.
And
because
focus on that intentional, because I felt, we had good intent, but were we being intentional with what we were doing?
We weren't, yes. So basically, the first thing that we did, and this is what he suggested, you want to have a meeting, a Zoom with your new brand partners and current brand partners. So we call it a meet, greet, and goal Zoom call that we do. And we've been doing them about once a month. But sometimes we do them as needed because our team is growing so fast. So we might have a leader call us up and say, hey, I want to introduce you to some new people. So we'll do it then. But typically it's a set Zoom for once a month.
So-and-so's on fire. They just enrolled 5 brand partners. We need to do a meet and greet.
And goal calls, yeah.
Because think about it. How many times do people enroll people and then they sit back
and they don't do anything?
And they don't call, and they wait for them to do some type of explosion.
And then they lose the excitement. They got in, they were excited about the business. Now they feel like they're all by themselves. Nobody's locked arms with them, and you lose them. So right away, you got to get to meet these new brand partners, and it can get hard when you're going 7, 8, 9 generations down. So that's where you're working with your leaders. I have a bunch of leaders on this call right now. My girlfriend, Michelle, she calls me up when she has somebody new. My girlfriend, Stacy, Renee, April, they're on this call. This is what they do. So I can meet these people, right?
And let them know that they're not in this with just the person that enrolled them.
That's right.
There's an entire team up and down that they could plug into, because, hey, some people that our brand partners have enrolled may not like us.
Right.
Or may not like the way we're presenting,
they might not like our style.
But hey, that's why they have so many others that they could lean on.
And that's okay. And we lean on our upline all the time.
So and I'll be honest, I even have gone to my downline of SPDs, such as Vic and Di, and many other leaders on this call, and said, you know what? I have somebody. Actually had Joey Michaels help me the other day. I had a nice young boy. He's new to this. He's 25. He's a baseball player. Joey was a baseball player. Hello, right. They're speaking the same lingo. It does not hurt me one bit to help my team have a call with another leader who's going to speak his language. It's going to help us all. So don't be shy. Even if there's an SPD beneath you, it's okay. Reach out to them. If they have a style that's going to work, why would they not want to help you? Everybody in this business, thank the Lord, is really helpful. So utilize that. That's why as soon as somebody says, "Oh, I have somebody here," I'm like, "Oh, I know somebody there. Let me connect you with them."
That's
That's
the truth. You know, and we say this all the time. You're not in business by yourself. You're in business for yourself, but you have a whole team of people. We're cheering each other on. We want you guys to be successful. So we want you to lean on us. If you're not calling us or texting us, we just think you're not wanting to do the business. So we want you to blow up our phones. But anyway, so basically what we're doing is we're setting up a meet, greet, and goal Zoom call at least once a month. And on that call, I'm having these people that everyone's cameras are on. You have to have your camera on. So brush your hair. And they're introducing themselves. They're quickly just saying, "Hi, I'm so and so. This is where I'm from." And then I ask, and Vic asks, "What do you want out of LifeWave?" That one simple question. What do you want out of LifeWave? Waiting room. And they'll answer it. You have to ask the questions. You have to know what they want. You have to identify people that want to do this as a business. So if they say, "Look, I want to do this as a side hustle. I need to make an extra income," then you have a notepad, you write down their name really quick, and then you set a goal with them. "Okay, listen, are you a manager yet?" "No, I'm not." "How about we get you to manager by next week?" "That would be great." "Awesome." Then you go to the next person. "Where are you from? What's your name? What do you want out of LifeWave?" You go through it all. You write everybody's names down that want the business. And then at the end of the call, you're setting up business launch Zooms with them. "Hey, Lisa, we're going to set up a business launch Zoom for you, your own personal business launch. We're going to help you launch that business. And what we want you to do is invite some people to this Zoom call. How is Thursday for you?" "Ooh, Thursday doesn't work." "What about Friday?" You're telling them the day. You don't just say, hey guys, we want to do a business launch for you." "Okay, great. Let us know when you're ready." No, you don't do that. We tell them we have Wednesday and Thursday available at 8 p.m. What day works for you? That is it. It's like having a trainer at the gym, you guys. If that trainer's waiting for you, you're going to show up. If you leave it to just, you let us know when you're ready, more than likely they're not going to grab the bull by the horns and set it up.
Well, because we were putting that offering out there, right? Everyone enrolls you and says, "Listen, when you're ready, we'd love to do a Zoom call for you. When you're ready, call me." Hey, everyone, we're doing the calls and saying, "Listen, when you want, contact us. We'd love to do a Zoom call with you or for you." And then
The phone would ring.
nobody was calling us. So again, when we went from intent to being intentional, this right here is what changed it. And everyone, this is the terminology. You want to do their business launch. Brooke, are you ready to launch your business? I want to launch it in the next 72 hours. It's Monday night. We're on that call. How's Wednesday for you at 8 o'clock? Ooh, I don't know about how's Thursday. We're doing it this week. Come on. And that little push, well, I don't know if I could get anybody on the call. And I go, well, hey, worst comes to worst, we get on that call and nobody's on there. We're going to say hello. We're going to spend 15 minutes together and we're going to gear it up for your next business launch. And this isn't only great for those new brand partners, but go back and think who you've enrolled or find somebody that's been enrolled, that's been on auto ship and nothing's happening, and tell them you want to relaunch
Their
business. You found a little method that's working.
A new strategy. That's what we're saying. They've got a new strategy.
And all you're telling them is, look, this is a quick 25-minute call. So I'm having Brooke's 25-minute introduction to LifeWave X39. Brooke, we're doing it Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I am sending you a Zoom invite link right now. This way, when you're contacting and inviting, I don't want you saying too much. They don't want to learn the story, the history of X39 and LifeWave. All you need to do is you sound a little excited. I got something really good. You got to hear this couple, Vic and Di, or whoever's doing that launch for you.
I value your opinion. I love that.
And you carve out 25 minutes. And trust me, these calls are going to be 20, 25 minutes, and that's it for them. But that's what you want to do. And just focus on this. Step 5 on This Is It team. Okay, that's the contact and invite. That's all you need to master in this, is being able to contact, invite, create a little curiosity, right? Because if you're telling them everything, sometimes you could talk them into something and you could talk them out of it.
It's true. You really can.
On there. So create that little excitement to let the presentation do the work for you. who's the company, who's behind the company, what's the product, what can it do for you, and what is the business opportunity. Covered in 25 minutes, simply because you just want them asking for more and then getting on their call.
May I add, when you guys go to step 5 on This Is It team, that's the script on how to contact and invite. You're going to look at the script. You're going to say, that's really not me. Tailor it to you, to your personality. And you want to just be able to say it naturally. You don't want to look like sound like you're reading from a script. But like Vic said, keep it simple. I always love to say, hey, I was introduced to something I'm really excited about. I thought of you because you're one of the sharpest people I know, one of the smartest people I know. I value your opinion. Can you get on? What are you doing Wednesday at 8 o'clock? It's going to be 25 minutes. That's it. And listen, after you just gave them all these great compliments, how could they say no, right? They get on and that's it. And then stop talking. Don't say anything else.
Or like my Italian mother raised me on guilt them to getting on the call. My upline's doing a call and I need people on this call. So please get on that call.
Absolutely. And guys, and just to cover again to what they were saying a minute ago, about, hey, it's okay if you get on the call and nobody's there and it's just that one person.
Absolutely.
I have had that happen, and it's so funny. I think, well, I'm not going to call the person out, right? But there's somebody on this call, and it happened to them twice, and they were like, "Oh my God, Brooke, I'm so sorry, my team didn't show." Do you think I was upset? I said, "I don't care. Now it's time for me and you to double down on your business.
There you
Let's
go.
look at who else is in your business. Who else do you need to call? What objections are you having? What can I help you with?" A real leader is not going to be upset if nobody shows up to the call. I had a call the other day where the guy did more talking than I did. Okay. And that's totally fine, right? you know, and that's okay too, guys, because at the end of the day, as your leaders, as people that are trying to help you guys, and as you guys develop those leadership goals yourself, that's how you guys want to be too. You want to be, okay, how do I make the best out of this situation, right? Let's make this, because everything in life it's all about perspective. It's about your reaction to thing. It has nothing to do about the situation. It's how you react to it. For me, I find that it's better to react in a positive way and utilize that time to the best of my ability. I'm not going to say,
100%.
oh, well, they didn't hop on, so too bad, so sad, goodbye, right?
You know.
And Brooke, you hit on probably something that's the most important is as you're doing this launch for someone's business, when you get that person that's so excited and wants to start doing the talking, they're ready to do the business launches for their people, right? Because we can't just have singular people doing these launches. You're finding those leaders that then are going to go in their depth and they're going to do launches for people. And that's how this is really going to
Exactly. So it's a continual cycle of building in depth, right? So we do the meet and greet, and goal Zoom. Then we set up the business launches for the people that say they want to do this as a business. We schedule it within 72 hours for each of them. And then they get their new prospects on. When those people sign up, it's important to keep communication with the brand partner and their prospects. Once they get on board, the brand partner will call he or she and say, hey guys, I had 3 new people on. They all signed up. 2 are interested in the business. Great. Let's do a call. Get on the call with them. And then we schedule a business Zoom launch for them because they're excited. They just got on board. They want to get their business rolling. The faster you get your members, your team making money, they're not going anywhere. If you get their product paid for, why would they go anywhere? And they're going to want to talk to more people because they're seeing money going into their back office.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. We also do weekly and biweekly and as needed onboarding Zooms. And we just quickly show them. Vic, you want to go to the next slide right there? These are the things we touch on. Back office, the school onboarding is amazing, guys. If you go into the school site, click on onboarding. Sarah Robinson does the videos. It's everything that's listed here. She talks about the back office, placement, pay portal, everything that you need to know is there. We do this, we touch on it with all new brand partners. And like I said, we do it as needed, but it's probably once or twice a week we're talking to new people about onboarding.
And just in case some people are kind of lost on that once in a while, but on This Is It team in the upper right corner, if you click those 3 lines and scroll down to school, if you haven't done it before, I think it just needs your email and then it registers you. and then automatically it takes you right into the school platform to click around
And you
to,
click on
you know,
classroom.
what's
Yeah,
most needed for you personally or for your leadership training.
exactly.
And to cover on that as well, guys, is it's a lot easier to click and share a video than you to repeat yourself saying the same thing over and over and over again. You're interested in a certain aspect, great. I'm going to either use school, I'm going to use this as a team. There's tons of videos that I can say, watch this video, as opposed to me saying, hey, let's hop on a 10-minute call and me go through it with you when they could just watch the video. Utilize these aspects of the business are so that your business can also move smoother and your time
That's right.
efficient, right?
It's duplicatable that way. It's easy. You're just pointing people where to go. They can watch the videos and it makes it easy for them as well.
And that's the way your team grows from hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands.
Also, guys, on This Is It Team, the X39 opportunity presentation is there. It's downloadable. So, you know, you're all leaders. You should all know where it's located and you should all be practicing how to present. Because I remember Sarah said this, if you're not presenting your own Zooms, then you're actually building somebody else's business. And when she said that, I was like, wow, that's pretty she's right. You know, so you want to start practicing doing these Zooms, but we're always happy to do them for you. We are, but we want you to break away and start doing them as well. And that's the goal. You want to create as many
Because you
leaders
need
as you can.
breakaways.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So, the events. Vic?
Well, look, events, that's what brought us to the next level, right? And they say there is not an SPD that misses an event.
They never
So if
did.
your goals are to set and get yourself to SPD, you've got to make that commitment to not missing an event. And there's not a huge amount to go to. And it's about carving out the time for it, because I could tell you, this is it. I mean, next level, you know, event in August, it's on my birthday.
We're going.
Big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, ooh, I'm not going to go because I'm turning 56 on that. Hey, I celebrated 55 others, you know, and so we're going. We're going to be there.
There's just no reason to miss it. I mean, we take this as seriously.
But then more importantly is we're not just booking our tickets to get there. Okay. We need other team members there. And Mike Hernandez said that a long time ago. He said, hey, the person that gets the most people there sees the most growth in their business. So you need to encourage the people that you've enrolled that want to be leaders, that if they want to be leaders, they got to get to these events.
Yeah, you got to. If you're a leader, you just can't miss it. It's our training.
Hey, it helps you understand the big picture, you know, and there is a bigger picture here, and it's all laid out for you. But these events aren't just training, they're motivation. I mean, I can tell you the team members that we brought there, it changed them. You know, I one team member, I'm not going to call her out, but she walked in as this little, meek, shy individual and walked out of there like this tornado. Couldn't wait and was picking up the phone and calling and engaging and setting three-way calls because the belief factor was there. You know, that person that you're so scared to call. And she said it. She said, I'm calling him. In fact, I'm stepping outside and calling him right now because her conviction grew to a level that was unstoppable. And that's what these events are going to do for you. Oh, we kind of covered that, right?
Well, we just jotted down some notes because this is what you're going to get when you go to these events. You're going to realize that you're with the right company, the right manager, the right ownership. David Schmidt's going to be speaking at the event. Other corporate members will be speaking there. You're going to be learning valuable information, what's coming in the future. They always you know, give us little hints about what to expect. They don't come out and tell us all the time, but they tell us some things. Then they get us excited. We're with the right technology, the right product. We have zero competition, 16 more years left on the patent. You guys should all know this because you're leaders. But these are the things that your team is going to see, they're going to feel, they're going to believe, and you really do leave there, you know, feeling bulletproof, like Vic said. Nobody could shoot you down.
Hey, does anybody cringe when somebody goes, is this one of those network marketing, multi-level marketing companies? And you kind of do the like, You don't know what to answer? You know what happens after these events? They go, is it one of those network marketing, multi-level marketing companies? And you look them right in the eye and go, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's the best thing I've ever done.
And let me teach you why it's the greatest thing and what separates us from all the other challengers who are trying to prove their product is better than someone else's. We have no competition. You've got to take a look at this. Get on my 25-minute introduction call.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
let's set that up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, so basically all we did was exactly that was that little system within the system of inviting people to a meet, greet, and goal Zoom, setting up their business launch, and then we just did it over and over again, 8, 9 generations deep, and our team has grown. And now we have leaders doing the same thing on our team, and it's changed everything for us.
So if you have been asked, are you ready to launch your business? Okay, then you have your leaders on the call right now to reach out and say, I would love for you to help me launch or relaunch my business. And Brooke will put you in touch with the right person, or you just reach out, be bold and say, can you do it for me?
Anyway, so Brooke, I know we want to talk about the event.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen, guys, just to kind of double down a little bit more on what they were saying in regards to the events. I just want to get you guys to understand why events are so crucial. Guys, like they said, on magnitude of these things, but this builds trust and credibility. So screenshot these things if you guys want, because you do need to take this back to your team and get them to understand the bigger picture, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, but it costs money. Yes. Everything in life costs money, and this is a business. You have got to spend money to make money. And if you want to be the best in the business, you've got to spend time investing in yourself and building that business. There is no business on the planet Earth that you can spend $200 a month and make the kind of money we make, okay?
Right.
So the events are so crucial, not because, oh, okay, we got to spend money to make money, right? But because they change your business, okay? This builds trust and credibility. Meeting people face to face, right? It does humanize the business, right? You can see me on these Zooms and be like, oh, she seems nice. And then you meet me in person and it changes things. We become friends. We build a genuine connection. We build trust. There's certain things that you just can't build online. And it creates social proof, guys. Social proof, showcasing the SPDs on stage that have succeeded. The people that weren't network marketers, right? Because I had a girl, she goes, yeah, but those people are all network marketers. Incorrect. There have been pastors on stage, teachers on stage. I met this incredible SPD couple that were just teachers making $4,500 combined joint income every 2 weeks. And in this business, they changed that to $5,000 a week. They were not crazy network marketers. You know what it was? They were pinned against the wall and they said, I'm going to get out of this hole that I'm in. And that's what it took. You meet people like this. It makes the opportunity, guys, really, it makes it believable. It makes it obtainable. It says, if they can do it, I can do it. And maybe you don't need that message. Maybe you're like, yeah, well, I just don't need that. I don't need to hear that. Okay, great. But your team does. And if you're going to tell me that your team doesn't, then you should be an SPD on stage right now next to me. I'll tell you that. You should be right next to all the leaders up there, because I promise you your team needs to hear it. My team needs to hear it. All the new people getting on this business need to hear it. I don't care if you're the CEO of a massive company and this is something new for you, but everybody needs these tools, guys, that are happening at these events.
Brooke, may I add one thing to that?
Absolutely, please.
So I love this word and it's so true. It's grit, having grit. The definition of grit means possessing perseverance and passion for long-term goals despite facing challenges and setbacks. And I think every SPD that you see on the stage, we have grit, because we've had highs and lows just like all of you. And we just got to the other side. And you guys can do this. I know you can.
Absolutely. Well said. And next on this, it increases belief, motivation, and it strengthens team culture and unity. Absolutely. I will say, actually, our last convention, I had my entire team from Korea come, and it had been my second time actually meeting them face to face. How much fun was that, guys? Come on.
How much fun.
Oh my gosh.
We were all dancing with them. I won't call out Michelle or
Mindy. We didn't understand each other, but we were dancing with each other. It was so much fun.
It was. And guys, if you are thinking, "Oh, well, I want to build an international business. I want to see what it's like." It is incredible, okay? But it increased belief, it creates motivation, it makes people inspired, and it really does. People left and they saw something bigger, guys. They saw that this was bigger. They saw that the company was bigger. They saw that the leadership was bigger. They saw that the mentorship was bigger. They saw that the future of the business was beyond what they could think. Like Vic and Di said, they tease these future products, these innovations that David is creating, and people get inspired. So if they're like, oh, I don't know, I have a guy that actually called me. I think he's on the call. Hi, Steve. He was very excited about the water machine, and he goes, Brooke, when this launches, it's
Lights out.
right. And some people need that. So you're like, oh, but they've been moving slow on the patches. Well, guess what? The water machine might inspire them. The future energy machine might inspire them. The drone technology might inspire them.
Exactly.
The technology that I don't know if you guys paid attention to the WhatsApp that David had teased when I asked that question, that might inspire them. There's so much that could inspire them in this business because there is a lot of future opportunity.
Yes, there is.
You know,
Lot
Brooke,
down the
in my
pipeline.
in my Square business, which is credit reporting, I deal with people all day that go, I wish I knew this sooner. So many
Yes.
people are going to be saying, I wish I got in the life wave sooner, because where it's going and what's happening with David's 20 plus year vision out is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Guys, promotes duplication and simplicity. We talk about this. Vic and I just talked about this, right? Duplication, simplicity. Events help new team members see what's possible and how to do it, right? And not only that, but I will tell you, not just duplication, but let's say the way I say it to you doesn't connect with you. But then somebody else gets on stage and the way they said it just resonated with you, it clicked for you. You say, I'm going to copy and paste that. I like the way they tweaked the duplicatable system to make it fit them. You're going to hear speakers that resonate with you. I had so many people at the last event. And no, I was not offended. I was super excited. That said, blah, 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 speaker really resonated me. I'm ready to run. I was like, woo, yes.
Exactly.
Right? I, as a leader, was happy that somebody resonated with them. That's the point of the event. It's okay if they meet somebody and hear it, right? At the end of the day, money is still green. The money is still green. The growth is still growth, right? Whether it's you or somebody else, it's okay, because guess what? When your turn to speak, you're going to resonate with somebody else when you're up on that stage, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, I hear Carly speaking. I can't wait to
Right.
duplicate what Carly did and what Carly said, because that won for her. That's what worked for her. That's what events do, right? That's how Vic and Di, their business changed even more so, right? Because obviously I didn't say exactly those words. I didn't say, hey, you need to do what they did. They found that through another leader. Beautiful, great, awesome, so happy, right?
Right. Right. You weren't insulted that we
You,
went
you
to
didn't get
somebody
mad
else.
at us and not talk to us anymore.
It's what we needed. It's what we needed at the time, and it got us to where we needed to be. And that's okay. And we're all, and listen, I have to make a note. They were from This Is It team.
Yes.
They were from our team. So that's important, you know.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, guys, it showcases the bigger vision. It offers training and skill building. Guys, you could screenshot this because I am gonna take it off so you guys can see us talking a little bit more. But obviously, as you guys know, a lot of the events can also be a lot of raw, exciting uptick, right? But it's not just that. It's not just that, guys. The last event, I think we went through objection handling. We actually did live conversation of objection handling on stage. Okay, guys. So you're going to have those real tools that maybe you haven't put in your tool belt yet. Maybe you haven't thought to ask your leader for help. That's where you're going to get that help, is on those calls. So or at those events. Okay. So in short, guys, not everybody builds the same. Right? Some focus on social media, others are on in-person connections, right? Others build through product events and content, right? The event lets everyone hear from the leader that builds in a way that speaks to them. Okay? in a way that speaks to them, right? Because we're all not the same person. It's okay if there's a different speaker that speaks to them that makes them succeed. New and struggling network marketers can find someone that they relate to, whether it's background, whether it's race, whether it's, oh my God, I grew up in the same area as them, I connect with them, whatever it is. If they did it and they were a teacher, which I had this same conversation the other day with somebody, I said, if this woman that's a teacher and her husband, also a gym teacher, barely making money, couldn't afford, broke my heart, couldn't afford to buy their son their $70 baseball shoes for him to do baseball, had to wait until their paycheck came in. That is when they said enough is enough. That's where it was for them. We can't buy our kid the shoes that he needs for baseball. They're like, Brooke, it was enough. That's all we needed. And
You
then
have to make a change. What are you going to do? You got to make a change.
yeah.
You gotta change. I love what Keston said. He said the event brings life away from your head to your heart. Like it does.
It does. Actually, since Keston's on, Keston, why don't you hop in and throw
Share.
a little, drop a little knowledge up in here. Where are you at?
He's right there. He's right there. Hey, Cass.
He's like, I was chilling.
Do we have to unmute him?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, wait. To unmute. There you go.
Now I'm
Hey,
unmuted.
Okay.
Hey guys, you guys are crushing it. Brooke, you
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah,
what
no, I was just listening to what everybody was saying about the events, and it's just so true. You go with your team, and once you realize that you can only lead so many people, you can only do so much. It does take a team to build. And so when Mike Hernandez would say to us and Vic and I and everybody, hey, the more people you have in the seats, the faster your team's going to grow. And when you realize that, it's not like, oh, I don't know if I need it or if I don't need it. You 100% need it, but the people that are sitting next to you on your team that you bring, and they used to say, whether you put them in your car and get them there, like you go pick them up and bring them there. If they can't afford the hotel room, you share the hotel room with them and split the cost so
That's
they
right.
can get there and get the knowledge, because that will set your business free. That will get you on the path where you want to, financially on where you want to go. And I apologize for again, I was on a boat and I'm going
look
fishing
great.
at 2 a.m. I got to be up at 2 a.m. to get on a charter tomorrow. So I just was a little late, but you guys are crushing it right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
And hey, can I say, because you know what, the being a 44-year Jersey guy before we moved to Florida 12 years ago, let's understand one thing. The plug for this event is not in any way because it's a moneymaker. This big push for you to go, for you to get people to go, is for your business and that
Yes.
alone. Okay, because this event's put on by Steve and Gina. They dig in their pocket, and I'm telling you, they cover costs, and that's
Yep.
it. I'm going to tell you, sometimes they take losses on it.
They
But
do.
it's
Yeah.
their heart and their passion, because Steve said it best. They don't have to work another day. They don't have to work their LifeWave business another day. It's going to continue to grow and pay them. But they want what they have for everyone else on this call, the way we want for you, Keston, Brooke, everyone wants for you. That's the only reason we're pushing you to get to this event.
I mean, guys, we're SPDs and we get something out of the events. When we leave, we are so fired up and so excited. So if there's anybody on this call tonight thinking, yeah, I don't really need to be there, I'm excited, I'm self-motivated, I got this, I don't need it. Yes, you do need to be there, because it changes us. And we couldn't be any more motivated or excited about our business. But every time we go, we take something back with us. We do.
I just want to add on to what you said, that it's true. Iron sharpens iron. So
Yeah.
you want to be around, if you want to be highly motivated, get around highly motivated people that are getting up every day, have families, have jobs and careers just like you do, are still out doing the Zoom calls, are still out sharing the patches, and you learn their different techniques on what they're doing, how they're starting conversations. But every one of us, and I mean, I've known Vic and Di for a long time, we all started from day one. And that is the point that everybody has to see. It's like, yeah, you look at somebody and you're like, oh, wow, they're an SPD. But they started day one, just like you, one left, one right, and helping build and helping those people go manager. And you realize that you can do it too. There's nobody that starts off, and even Steve and Gina, I was there day one when they signed up, pulled up in a white van. I didn't know anything about networking, and I helped them unload these metal chairs and carry them up the stairs. But the one thing I learned was I didn't know anything. And then I meet this guy, Steve, and he's in the room. People are walking in. He's got his hand out. Hi, I'm Steve Merritt. How you doing? Have a seat. We're about to get started. This thing's exciting. You're going to love it. And I remember Devin and I just stepping back and we're like, wow, who is this guy? But right. And then everybody sees them go to 6 figures a week and they're like, holy mackerel. But at that time, their backyard didn't look like that. It was all grass. Vic and I remember we all pulled around and were parked behind their house. There was no pool there. There was nothing there. So just
You're
know
right.
that you can do the same thing that anybody on that stage can do. And you can be standing right next to them and have the same size business or bigger than them.
Well,
And,
Keston, how long has it been since we've even done a business like this? I mean, we haven't done network marketing in years. So this was starting brand new over again. Just like all of you guys, if you're new in network marketing, we started new. So that's good to know because we just made a phone call and another phone call and another phone call. We had grit, we kept going, and we got here.
that's
You can
right.
do that too. We're no different than any of you. We didn't bring over a big team. It was just us making phone calls.
That's right. And I always say there's no race to SPD. We're
Nope.
all going to get to the same place.
Sure.
Some people like Steve and Gina get there in 23 days. Other people like Brooke and I take a year and 8 months, and other people might take 36 months. It doesn't matter. We all end up in the same place. That's all that
Agree.
matters.
Agree. Agree.
Yep.
Thank
And
you.
it also shows that it doesn't matter when you get there, you can still make it to the top. So you look at the top 20 in the company, and some of those people have been in 20 years and some have been in 2 years. There's one that made it on the top. I know, I believe she's spot number 18. She got in less than a year ago. Okay.
Wow.
Top 20. And the only reason I know was because I harassed Geraldo because I want to get to know him. Okay. And I kept harassing him. I said, did we qualify? Did we qualify? What about now? Do you know? Do you know the top 20? Who's on the top 20? Who's on the top 20? He's like, Jesus, Brooke.
We do have a great corporate
Meredith.
staff. We've got the greatest, we really do have a great corporate staff too. Geraldo's the best.
We really,
So-
really do. But thank you, Cass, for hopping on. I know you're exhausted and had been fishing, and really appreciate you a little calling you out and being willing to speak because I know.
No, it's okay. I really appreciate everybody on this call, and Brooke and you guys putting it together, and you guys do an amazing job. And I really do appreciate everybody on the call taking the time out of your busy schedule to get on here. And it already shows you're doing the right thing, and your mind is in the right place in your heart, because you're on these calls at nighttime and you're learning, and that's where you should be. And it's amazing.
I love it. Thank you, Keston.
All right, guys.
How about
Yeah, yeah, and like you guys, like kind of like with what he said a little bit more is like taking accountability, right? As leaders, you have to be accountable for your business. You have to show up for your business. And if you expect people to show up for your business, you need to show up too, right? You can't expect people to put people in if you're not putting people in. You can't expect people to be on the Zooms if you're not on the Zooms. And you can't expect people to show up to events if you're not showing up to events. The level of priority you make it is the level of priority your team will make it. The biggest teams, the people that make the most money in this business, have their teams there. Do you ever see an SPD not at an event? No, because they take it serious. They know the power of the events. Okay. We
we build from event to event, and that's the truth.
And there's the mic drop, Brooke. That was good.
Right. So guys, if you guys have any questions at this point, feel free to drop questions. You can drop them in the chat. You can request to unmute. You can raise your hand. Whatever works for you guys, please let us know. We are more than happy to answer any questions. Obviously Vic and I, I'm letting them do more of the training on this. So they'll take probably the lead on any questions that there are.
If you want, we can also put our numbers in the chat. So if anyone wants to call us, and they're more than welcome to do that. So let's do that now.
Yes.
Because some people might be a little shy, doing it, but can't be shy, guys.
Yes. And for those that have reached out to me, and I'm going to drop my phone number in the chat too. please let me know who your upline is when you reach out to me. Just because I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I just let me know a little bit about you before you just throw a bunch of things out there. I just want to know a little bit about you. Hey, can you help me with this? This is the story, whatever it may be. And do the same for Vic and Di and any leader. It just kind of helps us understand who you are, what you're doing, things like that. It just makes it a little bit easier. I've had a few people call me and I'm answering the phone. I have no idea. And they're shocked. I don't know who they are. Well, if I haven't met you, I'm sorry, but please let me know who you are. So that way I'd love to connect with everybody. I know Vic and Di are the same. We want to help as
You
possible.
know, Brooke, I say it all the time too. Just shoot a text message to us with your name, so I plug your name in the phone, and I don't think you're that person selling me on another student loan funding, car warranty. You know, because if it comes up spam, may not be answering. So, we'd love to just have your name and number. You know, hey, it's whatever your name is. Brooke enrolled me. Okay, great. You're plugged in my phone under LifeWave. You'll get priority answering.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it doesn't look like anybody is dropping questions. So this will conclude the end of the training.